On the news tonight, University don't advocate regulation on herbal medicine practice in Nigeria. Nigerian Education Loan Fund reconciles on standing upkeep payments for students. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 7 on NTA Ijebu-Ode. I am Ifeoluwa Ashalu and here are the details of our stories. The absence of proper scientific validation, standardized dosage, clinical trials, safety testing, and regulatory approval have continued to limit the acceptance of herbal products as modern medicine despite Nigerians' rich traditional medical heritage. A professor of clinical pharmacy at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, Professor Bola Olayiwola, raised these concerns while delivering the institution's 411th inaugural lecture. Femi Afariogun completes the report.
In a thought-provoking lecture at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Professor Bola Olayiwola, a renowned clinical pharmacy expert, sounded a wake-up call for Nigeria to harness its rich medicinal flora. He lamented that despite Nigeria's vast botanical resources, the absence of proper regulatory approval, scientific validation, and investment continues to limit the acceptance of herbal products as modern medicine. The professor emphasized the need for stronger collaboration among universities, research institutions, traditional medicine practitioners, and the pharmaceutical industry to unlock the potential of Nigeria's medicinal plants. He also urged government at all levels to increase funding for research into indigenous medicinal plants, stressing that this could lead to breakthrough in modern medicine.
A case where people hoard information is not healthy for our system. That's why I was able to acknowledge General Alani Akinade for bringing insulin plant into our attention, and people have been using it, relieving them of side effects of anti-diabetic drugs.
Vice Chancellor of Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor Adebayo Bamire, reaffirmed the university's commitment to research that addresses societal needs, while guests at the inaugural lecture also called for sustained policy support to bridge the gap between the traditional knowledge and modern drug development. As Nigeria seeks to diversify its economy and improve healthcare, the right policies and partnerships could become a game changer in the country's pharmaceutical industry.
Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
In the same vein, freshly admitted students of the Purdue College of Health Technology have been charged to embrace resilience, demonstrate total dedication, and remain focused. Provost of the college, Mrs. Agnes Sogbeson, gave the advice during the 19th freshman matriculation ceremony of the institution. Blessing Adewi was at the institution's arcade ground, Okeheri, Ijebu-Ode, venue of the ceremony, and now report.
The ceremony was attended by the dignitaries from within and outside the Purdue College of Health Technology, who gathered to witness the matriculation and formal induction of about 1,000 new students.
And pursue my academic work. With my whole heart. With all seriousness.
Also in attendance were Ogun State Coordinator of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, representative of the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, their fathers, as well as parents and guardians. Delivering our welcome address, the Provost of the college, Mrs. Agnes Sugbeson, charged the students to uphold the high sense of discipline and responsibility through their stay in the institution. She emphasized strict obedience to the college rules and regulations.
My advice for them is to know that they have started a long but fulfilling journey, and they have to take their part by obeying the rules and regulations of the college, taking the academics serious so that they can graduate excellently, and I wish them all the best.
Chairman of the occasion, Professor Thomas Adenowo, congratulated parents and guardians for their commitment in raising responsible youths, whom he described as leaders of tomorrow. Registrar of the college, Mrs. Adedolapo Oyebamiji, while speaking, advised the students to maintain good conduct, remain disciplined, and have faith in God as they journey through their academic life.
But I want to encourage them, whatsoever comes their way, they should take it with good faith and faith in God. They should be dedicated to their education. And I pray at the end of the day, they will come out being successful.
Some of the newly matriculated students expressed excitement and gratitude to God, as well as their parents, for the opportunity and pledge their loyalty.
They are expecting good policies from me and good grades, so I'm going to return it back to them with good grades also and be of good characters.
I feel happy, I feel blessed because that's been a long waiting journey. I've been at home for like 4 years and finally I'm being matriculated. It's a lot for me and I'm so happy and grateful to God and to my parents.
High point of the ceremony was the administration of the matriculation oath to the 992 students and official launch of the 2026-2027 admission flyers. In Ijebu-Ode, Blessing Adeoye, NTA News.
Still on education, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund reconciliation exercise to resolve outstanding student upkeep payments amounting to 927.98 million naira, affecting 11,685 beneficiaries nationwide. Managing Director of NEL Fund, Akuntide Soya, disclosed this in Abuja while providing an update on the performance of the student loan scheme. Olayinka Ojo reports that NEL Fund plans to expand its sensitization efforts beyond campuses to parents, guidance, and other stakeholders to deepen trust and awareness of the scheme at the grassroots level.
In a demonstration of concept turning to reality, stakeholders in the education sector say the student loan has transformed and is still transforming access to education financing, providing financial support to students in public tertiary institutions, ensuring that no Nigerian student is denied education due to financial constraints.
The federal government have found a way of ensuring their focus remains on their book.
It has given hope, confidence to the citizens, particularly the youths, those who are interested.
I've benefited from NEL Fund over, I think, since last year to this year.
Even though the initiative, described as a game changer in Nigeria's education landscape, is breaking down barriers to higher education, some challenges need to be addressed. One of such is the outstanding student upkeep payment discovered following a routine reconciliation conducted at the end of the 2024-2025 academic session. NEL Fund says the delay were not as a result of withheld funds or policy failures, but technical and operational challenges, including temporary network downtime, failed transactions, and difficulties to validate some students' bank account details.
In line with the President's directive on accountability and efficiency in public service, management has approved a one-time focused reconciliation process to resolve all outstanding cases.
The reconciliation process will be conducted through direct engagement with the students, with prompt payment following once the verification process is completed. The fund's most recent data indicates that it has received more than 1.3 million applications, with 864,798 students benefiting from 263 public institutions. A total of 161.9 billion, comprising 89.94 billion naira, has been paid as institutional fees, while 72.03 billion naira has been disbursed to students as monthly upkeep allowances. NEL Fund says it is guided by the principles of fairness, transparency, efficiency, and accountability.
Some of the students are already calling and paying back.
NEL Fund says no Nigerian students will be denied of acquiring tertiary education due to financial constraints. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
In a bid to strengthen civil-military relations, the 63 Brigade Sector 1 Joint Task Force South-South, Operation Delta Save, organized the 205 West African social activities. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details on what WASA is all about. You're still watching us from NTA Ijebu-Ode News at 7. We would be going on a short break now. Please stay with us.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, NTA remains Nigeria's trusted voice. To our partners, government agencies, corporate bodies, political parties, and religious institutions, thank you. And to our millions of viewers, you are the reason we serve. Through every moment, big and small, we tell Nigeria's story with pride, balance, and integrity. As the new year begins, expect more, better programs, innovative storytelling, clearer signals, and fantastic broadcast deliveries that meet global standards. Together, we move forward with stories that matter. Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest network. You can't beat the reach.
What a wonderful world of Sure Clean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with Sure Clean. Sure Clean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean whites and all colors, Sure Clean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of Sure Clean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. Sure Clean detergent makes your family clean and happy. Sure Clean detergent. Happiness with every wash.
Welcome back from the break and thanks for rejoining us. The dry season, also called Harmattan, was expected to begin in December 2025, but instead we experienced unusually high temperatures. Then in January 2026, the weather suddenly changed a few days ago. A thick haze of fog began to appear and since been so. While some believe this is Harmattan, others think it is air pollution. Charles Alpha seeks explanation on how can people, especially those with respiratory conditions, protect themselves during this time.
Call it haze or fog, Harmattan or polluted air. The truth is, the current weather conditions are extreme and many people are finding them uncomfortable.
In the past few days now, I've been feeling somehow weak because of the weather.
The heat and the dust and everything is just different. Like I've been feeling a strange feeling because of the dust. If I have soft throat.
From intense heat to dusty haze and patchy skies, the weather remains unpredictable. Across several cities, including the FCT, residents are longing for clearer skies and fresher air. It's not Harmattan but air pollution, and that the change in temperature gradients caused by ocean, maritime, and tropical continental mass could offer explanation to what we are experiencing right now.
The southern part, which is dominated by tropical maritime, that is supposed to have lower temperature during the month of November to January, now they also have higher temperature. So because of that, the gradient that is supposed to slope from north to south, it is now a little bit gentle. So because of that, the Harmattan is not strong coming. So because the Harmattan is strong and is not coming, so it means the local air now, because since the Harmattan is not effective, is not strong, it means it is the local air that we have in the country that is not dominating. If to say the Harmattan is blowing, it will now come and suppress. So because of this scenario, the pollution that we have been having in the country has now taken over.
Others say it is a result of human activities. Car emissions, industrial operations, mining, bush burning, and wildfires are believed to be contributing to the changing state of the atmosphere.
This combination significantly reduces air quality and visibility, making the haze appear heavier and more persistent.
They are not reducing, they are rather intensifying. Industrial activities are going, clearing of the bushes are going. You understand what I'm going? Or burning of coal is still going, burning of vehicles is still going.
And with the changing weather, what should the people be doing at this point, especially those with respiratory conditions?
I'm advising people to be protecting themselves by wearing face masks.
My advice to you guys is just you guys to protect yourself, maybe indoor or taking water.
Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Sympathizers continue to visit the Idewon Araromi Jebo, the residence of the first civilian governor of Ogun State, Chief Olabisi Onabanjo, following the demise of the former First Lady, Chief Mrs. Lucia Onabanjo. Anthony Ganduni reports that among early callers was the Chief Imam of Ijebode, Alhaji Muftadin Ayombadejo.
Silence enveloped the Idemo Araromi community Ijebu-Ode as sympathizers came in droves to commiserate with the family of the wife of the first civilian governor of Ogun State, Chief Mrs. Lucia Onabanjo, who passed on yesterday. Chairman Ogun State Local Government Service Commission, who is one of the deceased children, Ms. Olivia Onabanjo, also spoke on the demise of her mother.
On Saturday, Hakera told me that she refused food. So the doctor came in and we decided that we should take her to hospital for palliative measures. And then she got into the hospital at about 2 o'clock on Monday. And 11 p.m. she went to the Lord.
Some early callers, including the Chief Imam of Ijebuland, Alhaji Muftauddin Ayombadejo, while commiserating with the family, described the deceased as a peace-loving woman.
As we all know, that behind every successful man, there must be a good woman. So Mama did a great job to support our late governor, Baba Onabanjo. So did it good, and their legacy, I pray that it will continue to inspire us.
Late Chief Mrs. Lucia Onambowale Onabanjo died on Monday at the age of 100. In Ijebu-Ode, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
That will be all for tonight on our English News Update. I am Ifeoluwa Ashalu. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí o. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí o. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí. Ẹ̀dá ló ń gbàgbé. Olúwa kò gbàgbé lẹ́nìkan. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, NTA remains Nigeria's trusted voice. To our partners, government agencies, corporate bodies, political parties, and religious institutions, thank you. And to our million viewers, you are the reason we serve. Through every moment, big and small, we tell Nigeria's story with pride, balance, and integrity. As the new year begins, expect more, better programs, innovative storytelling, clearer signals, and fantastic broadcast deliveries that meet global standards. Together, we move forward with stories that matter. Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest network. You can't beat the reach.